You know.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, guys. Good afternoon to you, Ajab. Good afternoon to you, Nico. How you guys doing today?
Doing great, doing great.
Doing good. Another Sunday, another day.
Yeah, we are almost getting actually into May. I mean, the chase for the EPL title is on. You see, Liverpool actually is falling off, as I did predict. But before we jump into these games and all that, I would like for our viewers to actually take a minute and share. You know, we can't actually build this platform without you guys. So, guys, let's just actually take a minute and share and hope we get some people on so that we can actually start the show. But the show is going to be about the title race in the EPL. We know in Spain, Real Madrid actually has closed it down. In Germany as well, in Italy as well. When in the EPL, the title race is still on. How did you guys actually enjoy the derby today? Just a few comments before we actually start.
That was a derby, man. We snuck by. Arsenal snuck by, man. I think Arsenal. I
Don't
mean,
get too much into it. How did you enjoy it? Don't talk about it. Just how did you
it was
enjoy
nervy. It was nervy. Let me use the one term. It was nervy.
it? Okay.
Yeah, it was nervy.
What about you, Ajab?
It was an okay game for me.
Okay. Okay. Yep. Then we also have the semifinals of the Champions League that we're going to talk about. We have those games Tuesday and Wednesday. The
Mhm.
first game is in Germany.
Yes,
Bayern,
Alliance Arena. Yeah.
yeah, Bayern versus Real Madrid. That's gonna be an interesting one, in my opinion. Yep. Meanwhile, we can go ahead and start. So we should start with the EPL, or how do you guys want us to start? Do we start with Champions League? Finish with EPL?
Uh, we start with the EPL since it's played already, and then we move to that which we're still about to watch. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So what do you guys think about the Liverpool game? We have seen Liverpool, as I did predict, the wheels are falling off Liverpool. I think that's the end for Liverpool after that draw at West Ham.
hmm
During that draw, we saw an altercation that a lot have been talking about. Mo Salah is not happy. I don't know what was actually said, but we saw Mo Salah and Klopp. What do you make of that, Ajab?
Nothing. It's okay to me. It's you have that ego, things like that. I think are bound to happen. We see it with every club. So I've seen Modric having something like that with Ancelotti. We've seen De Bruyne having something like that with Guardiola. I think the only reason now that it might be a bigger sin for Liverpool is because Liverpool is not doing well. But to me, I don't. It's nothing big to me, and I just think Salah has not been himself since he returned from his injury. Nations Cup, he's not been himself, and same with Sly and Konate. So that's why Liverpool fell apart. But I just think what's happening to what happened between Mo Salah and Klopp, it's just such things are bound to happen. It's nothing big.
Okay, thank you for that. What about you, Nico? This Liverpool team, they have actually the loss against Atlanta in Europa. Then we have seen that trickle down to the loss against Everton. I think that one was huge. For me, the way Everton played, Yes, Everton at some point was fighting relegations, but we should not forget that Everton has been deducted 8 points. And before Everton was deducted 8 points, they were playing some good football. So we knew this was a team that could play. But the way they showed up against Liverpool, I mean, what do you make of that? They were at home, Merseyside derby. Take us a little bit through that game because I think that was pivotal to the title chase for Liverpool.
Yeah, I think Liverpool's slip up actually started in that midweek game for sure, and I think it's something we touched on when we were talking about the last set of games that were coming, and we looked at the schedule and said, this could be a tough game for Liverpool because they would have come off of playing against Atalanta, and then they have to play against Everton, and then then go up with. With West Ham in London, having to travel to London. It was a tough game. I mean, you can see it, the tempers, the tension, the tradition, everything that the game meant was I think captured perfectly in that 10 or 15-second exchange between Klopp and Salah. Salah hasn't been producing the goods lately, and I can only wonder what Klopp said to him as he was about to come on to trigger him to go off in that manner. To the point that what's the other guy? Nunes was the one who was kind of like standing in between both of them and trying to stop them from continuing to banter and go back and forth. It's just strange, but I think this was coming. The writing was on the wall for Liverpool. The way the season has
I think you're breaking up.
oh, I'm sorry. What about? Am I clear?
Yeah, yeah,
In
you're clear now.
in 16 games, Liverpool has gone a goal behind before coming back to win the game or tie the game. And at some point, I knew their luck was going to run out. And this was one of those situations, right? Everton really took the game to them. And you could see tired legs. Everton played really well in midweek. And then West Ham just came in. And the way the game went, you could tell even West Ham was a little nervous. They didn't know how to approach Liverpool. But I think as the game wore on, we could tell, the tension and the let me, I don't want to keep saying tension. I just feel like there was something about the air in the London Stadium that allowed for West Ham to play the game they wanted to play. And we didn't see much of Mohamed Kudus in this game. I think Bowen is the person who was man of the match, right? Bowen and it was quite interesting to see that Liverpool again went behind, but then of course they came back immediately, and then they actually went ahead on the own goal. Was it the own goal? Yeah, the own goal, and then at some point West Ham came back and equalized. Um, hey, the writing is on the wall for Liverpool. They're out of the title race, I think. Mathematically, not yet, but I think they're out of the title race with 3 games left. I don't know. I don't know where anybody else picks up points. Anyway, anybody else drops points. Maybe Arsenal, Man U, but I don't think Liverpool can catch them, even if they drop points in that game. But Bowen was just amazing in that game, and kind of you kind of see why he's worth 100 million, I think, for right now. But yeah, that's all I have to say on the game. Oh, and the ref was not the best in that game, though. The ref was not the best. Anthony Taylor had a tough time in that game, I think. I can't think of the incident, but as the game was going on, I kept thinking to myself, "What's going on?" Oh, yeah. Let me. The point I'm gonna make. Sorry, that ball where the keeper puts the ball down, and Cody Gakpo goes to score, but he's stopped by the ref. I don't think the ref should have called that back because there was no foul there, no free kick, nothing, and the keeper just dropped the ball to adjust his socks. And anyways, we'll talk about that, I'm sure, but I think the ref dropped the ball on that one, and Liverpool could have actually won that game, but it is what it is.
Yes, actually, we have seen some bad decisions by the ref, and it's unfortunate that Liverpool actually had to, suffer that decision because had Gakpo actually kicked the ball and went into the net, I don't think VAR would have overruled that. So
Exactly.
no, but I think maybe the ref blew
No,
when
actually,
when he went to. Did he blow? Did the ref blow when he went towards
when
the
the
ball?
keeper fell in the goal, he
No,
actually
no. I mean, what made Ngakpo
Gakpo
stopped.
stopped. Yeah, the ref stopped him. The ref stopped him.
So the ref blew a whistle.
Yeah, exactly. The
Okay,
ref
so
stopped
it was a
Gakpo.
dead play. Okay, so
Exactly.
yeah, yeah. So it was actually a dead play.
No, but at that point, it wasn't though, because Gakpo went towards the ball.
No,
He
but you said
wasn't
the
even
ref
putting the
blew.
ball
If
down.
the
The
ref
ref stopped
blew,
him.
if the ref blew his whistle, it means the play is dead.
No, he stopped Gakpo from scoring, from going through with the ball.
How
That
did
was
he stop Ngakpo?
he blew when Gakpo was running
Exactly,
towards kicking the ball.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. As soon as you blow that whistle, that
Mhm.
play is
The
dead.
dead play.
So
Yes, but prior
meaning,
to that, it wasn't. That's the
yeah.
point I'm making.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay,
prior to that, it wasn't because the ref.
okay,
Yeah, that's the point I'm making. Prior to that, it wasn't a dead play.
okay. So anyway,
Yeah,
Liverpool is out of this title race.
yeah.
Let's
Unfortunately,
move on to Arsenal. We saw the London Derby that just ended today. First half, a tale of a game of two different stories, right?
yeah.
First half, Arsenal defending really well. Second half, Arsenal actually self-inflicted mistakes two times, and that gets actually Spurs nervy. And I mean, Ajab, what do you? I know you said the game was just a normal game. It was not all that for you, maybe boring. But how did you see that game play out?
It wasn't boring, but per se. But I was expecting a team that is fighting to meet up with Aston Villa and a team that is fighting to take over the league. I was expecting to see something very more tactically, but it's like both teams just went out to play. But the good thing I noticed about Arsenal, especially during the first half, is that when Tottenham had the ball, all 10 players for Arsenal were behind the ball, including Kai Havertz, who was the last man up front. Each time, even when you had like Madison with the ball, not even a defense man for Tottenham. We had someone like Madison or Bentancur with the ball. You could see everyone um, behind the ball. And even though Arsenal conceded twice, but I don't know, especially the first half, I noticed although Thomas Partey gave away one ball that almost cost them, but to me it looks like he's brought a little bit of balance to the Arsenal midfield, especially at this point in time, because he's good with the ball and he's somehow good without the ball. So, but all in all, I thought, yeah, it was one goal, and then Van de Ven scored that goal. It was supposed to be a 1-1 to get the game exciting again, and then it went 2-0. I thought VAR. I don't know from where when I was watching the game, I didn't see VAR call, even maybe try to check on the 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 foul on Kulusevski that led to the counter for the second goal. At least, even if it wasn't a foul, they would have checked it. It's like they didn't check it at all. It just yeah, when they validated the and what's the Saka's goal, they didn't even go to check to see if something happened to Kulusevski or to Madison. They just validated the goal and then back to business.
No, let me.
Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. Let me not interrupt, but let me just correct you. Yeah, it was checked.
It was
So
checked. Yeah,
it was checked, but
Okay,
the ref was not called to the
called
monitor.
to the
If
monitor.
okay,
Exactly.
okay,
if that was
okay.
what you said, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, it was like you said, it was a game of two halves. But I wasn't impressed with Ange, what's his name? Ange
Yes,
Postecoglou or something. He plays some. He's trying to bring something good to Tottenham with a high pressing football, but he's not flexible. That's yeah. At some point, they think that a team plays good football is going to stop. You have to be flexible. If your plan A is not working, bring out something. He kept
but let me ask you this. I
yeah.
mean, before you finish, let me just interject. Let me ask you this. But what do you actually expect? Because Tottenham had not played a game for 15 days. So they
Hmm.
have all that energy. And
Hmm.
Arsenal is cramming, they are playing at home. So what do you expect Ange to do? Because he came out, he created opportunities. The first goal they considered was from a corner kick out of nothing, own goal. That can happen,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
The press, it seems as if they
Hmm.
equalized, but yet the go to VAR is an offside. The
Hmm.
second goal they equalized, counter attack.
Hmm.
You know, the third goal from corner kick. I mean, what do you expect? Because I think Spurs actually came out well. They pressed
Okay.
high,
Okay.
but yet at halftime they were three goals down. Can you really blame the
Okay.
coach for his approach?
I've watched a few Tottenham games where building up from the back has cost them. So sometimes, yeah, I've watched a few games. So my point is that try something else. You must not build up from the back.
No, but
If
I'm
you're
talking
building up
about
from the
this
back,
building up
no,
from
I'm
the
talking
back
about
did not cost. I'm talking about the game today because building
yeah,
up from the back.
the first goal came from a corner where they were trying to build up from the back and they lost it. and then the corner, Saka crossed the corner, and Hojberg had an own goal. That's where the first goal came from. They were trying to build from the back continuously. Arsenal was pressing them until one finally led to a corner kick. So
Yeah,
my
but
point is this.
mhm, go
Okay,
ahead,
go
go ahead,
ahead.
go ahead. Go ahead.
First of all, Vicario is not a good
Feet.
ball playing keeper. So when you try to build from the back, you need someone, a keeper who is good with the legs. Vicario is not good at that. So at sometimes when you try it multiple times and it doesn't work, try something else. And then that's not only the building up from the back. The high line they play, it's not the best game for Tottenham. Even from the last game they played against was it Newcastle? The high line is not helping them. They should try something else. That's what I'm trying to say. If you try the high line and you see that it's costing you, I know that's where your game is. That's the point four. Let me put it like French. The Frenchman says point four. Try something else. That's what I always say with most coaches. If something is not working, try another thing. That's how I look at it. So that's the point I had with that. But the game in all, it wasn't a boring game, but it wasn't as exciting as I expected. Yeah. So I wouldn't call it a boring game. But I thought yeah,
Okay,
yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
okay. Thanks for that. Well, Nico, I know,
Yeah, I
I know. Ajab actually saw the game from a different point of view, but let's
mhm.
talk about the way this Tottenham team actually came out because I think they played
Yeah,
a perfect first half. However,
absolutely.
Arsenal scored two goals from corner kicks. We know they have scored most. They are the teams with the most goals from set
Yeah,
pieces. You
yeah,
know, then you have Everton that comes second. But Arsenal are the team for the most, and they scored two goals from the corner kick. Okay, and scored one from counter attack. We saw Spurs actually hit the bar, created opportunities, but they were not clinical enough. One goal denied from first half. What? How do you? I know you're an Arsenal fan now. How do you, as an Arsenal fan and or as an analyst, perceive the way Arsenal actually played in the first half? Although they led 3-0, it was defense in that first half that was actually able to set up a platform for them too. But how did you actually watch and analyze that first half or the game?
yeah.
The game.
Not just the first half. The throughout the game, even when Arsenal was 3-0 up, it always felt like Spurs had control of the game and they were going to score or make something happen, right? So the Spurs setup was very perfect. They of course they took home possession and field tilt and all the other things, the stats, number of passes, all that stuff. It was all in favor of Spurs, and that's because they had the game. They had the right game plan, I think. The plan we had, I think, Arteta opted for was to try to conscript them from bursting down, from taking control of that middle and being able to play their game. Like Ange likes the high line, like like Ajab has said, which kind of played a little bit to their disfavor this time around. Because if you look at the Saka goal, right, the Saka goal where there was a penalty shout, because of the penalty shout and the penalty not being given, Havertz ends up with the ball in an area where you would not expect Havertz to be on the ball, with nobody, with like two defenders pressing on him. And then Saka is like running it behind the defenders off the line, right there behind them, and the ball can go to him straight across the field. And those are some of the things that Spurs. That's kind of how you carve open Spurs' defense, because they sometimes play this high line that's so dangerous. We've seen it against Chelsea where they were like literally at the halfway line of the field when they played against Chelsea. I think they were 9 men versus 11. But that's not to say Arsenal didn't come with the goods. I think Arsenal played a good game. They took their chances well. But for Spurs not being as clinical and unfortunate with their own goal, we've talked about set pieces. Arsenal are back on it. Two goals from set pieces, one being an own goal and the other one being Kai Havertz's header. It makes for a good day. It really makes for a good day. The other thing I want to point out is that Partey, Rice, and Odegaard in that midfield is something that has to be like a sight to behold, because the way Partey controls the ball, those little in switching passes, those passes that don't seem to be a pass, but he makes the pass, or just the movement in that midfield when he is there, and allowing Rice to be able to make those driving runs in there, it's just unbelievable. I'm telling you, just unbelievable. 100 wins for Mikel Arteta. Today was his 100th win as a manager. as Arsenal manager, which is really a good thing. So big ups to Mikel Arteta on that one. 169 games coached, and he's won 100 of them. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about the losses and the draws, but yeah, that's a huge one. And I think Saka is the only other Arsenal player to have scored away and at home versus Spurs in the North London Derby since Ian Rice in 93. So those are some things that I kind of noticed. On the Spurs side, Kulusevski, man, that player, that's a player. That guy's a baller. Kulusevski is a baller. I see him. He can play for Real Madrid. He can play for, Man City. He can play anywhere. He's a very good. Yeah, he's a very good player.
I
That's
think
that's
he's a little bit too predictable. A little bit.
Oh
When
yeah,
he's Yeah, I think he's a little bit too predictable. But he's good. He's good with the ball. He has good touches and all that. Yeah,
yeah.
but I
I
think
mean,
he's a
he
little
had
bit too
he
predictable.
had Tomiyasu begging for a sub. He had Tomiyasu begging for a sub because he ran Tomiyasu down that line. And Tomiyasu is still he's a still of our left back. Although he's a right back, but he still does it back there. And you see towards the end of the game, Arteta had to get Kivio to come in to help cover because this guy he is fast. He goes. So it was a very good not London derby. Arsenal won, so I'm smiling. But I can tell you, even when Arsenal was leading 3-0, man, you were never sure because the way the game was going, you could think, the score could go either way. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, actually, when I watched the game, right, especially in the second half, Arsenal changed things up to that 64th minute when Raya, he was not focused because had he been focused, he spent lots of time on the ball and then gave that pass that led to a goal by Romero. But I think Van de Ven, when Tottenham plays that high line, they know that they have the fastest player, one of the fastest defenders in the EPL, in Van de Ven, right? So he can actually cover.
In the world, that kid is as fast as Mbappe.
Exactly, exactly. So he can actually cover. So why that's why Tottenham feels that they can play that high line. But that goal from Saka, it was as you said rightfully, Nico. That
hmm
distraction, that time where penalty, they feel as a penalty, but again, it's a new era, right? We have to focus. So that distraction, and then Saka saw that no one was paying attention. Everyone was actually looking towards the ball. He made that run and he scored that goal. That was actually vital. Then that Havertz goal, actually. So it was a perfect half for Arsenal. In that half, they had only maybe 29% of the possession, ball possession. Who could think that Arsenal will have 29% of ball possession and then three shots in that first half. No, in the first half they had, I think they had maybe
shots, two
one
shots and
shot, two shots on target, and that
yeah,
was
two
the
shots on
goal.
target, three
Yeah,
goals.
because that own goal was not a shot on target anyway. So the game 90 minutes they had three shots on target, but yet Arsenal actually
how
managed
many
to win
how many shots did Tottenham have on target in the first half?
two.
In
No,
the first half,
in the first half I
Tottenham,
think none.
I think
Hold on,
Tottenham
that's
had like
that's something I don't like about football. This
no.
the
you
score,
can't.
the stats,
Yeah,
the stats.
this
Yeah,
starts.
shots on
You see
target,
why I
but
hate it?
yeah,
Yeah,
but shots on
how
target,
can
shots on
how can Romero hit the goalpost and they don't count it a shot on
But
target?
again, shots on target doesn't mean everything because
Yeah, I
you can
know.
kick wide also, but it was an opportunity. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. You can have a
So,
golden opportunity and you shoot wide. That's why I don't like that shot on target aspect.
no,
I
shot
don't
on
like.
target is actually there for you to analyze, but you cannot think that shot on target actually means that if you had 20 shots on target, it means you had a better game. No,
Yeah,
Exactly.
the
That's
no.
one in 20 is
I don't even pay attention to it.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course,
and I mean another thing about stats there, like Tottenham had like 496 passes accurate to Arsenal's 270. That's like the first time that's happened in so long for Arsenal to give up that many passes in a game
I
like this.
I
Still,
think I
still,
think it's to me. I will say I will look at the good side of it. I will put it more on that Arsenal is starting to get mature. That you sometimes you have to win ugly. That's how I
of
look at
course,
it sometimes
of
too. Yeah,
course.
I will
very
look at the
true,
good side of it. Yeah,
very true.
sometimes you need to win ugly.
Yeah, of course, but also
Mhm.
we should this because this is where I state right. Football has many different events happening in the game. They have many phases of the game, like corner kicks, throw in, free kicks.
Kicks.
All these set pieces. When you prepare for set pieces and you don't have a game where you're able to create many opportunities. You use set pieces to score these goals, and that's what Arsenal actually did today. However, in the 64th minute, when Raya, your players start becoming complacent because it looked like it was gonna be an easy 3 points. The
Mm-hmm.
goalkeeper Raya makes that mistake. Then we see Rice giving away a penalty. That brought
Mm-hmm.
Tottenham back into the
Back
game.
a little late
Unfortunately
though,
for
yeah.
Arsenal,
Exactly.
they were still able to close it and stay a point ahead of Manchester City. Manchester City actually played Forest. We saw Manchester City against Forest. Forest, Chris Wood meet some big opportunities. What do you make of this game, Nico? The way Manchester City is actually putting that pressure. We feel that Manchester City is under pressure. They turn around and put
They put it.
back the pressure on Arsenal. So, I mean, what do you think about Manchester City, the way they are rolling towards the end of this EPL with a game in hand?
City plays like they're the big brother in the room, always. It's just there's an air to how City play, and it makes for such amazing viewing, right? Like they could allow you to press, they could allow you to have chances, they could allow you to do all what you need to do to try to score. Now, when you don't score, that's on you because when they get their chance, they're putting it in the net. That's the simple truth. Look at the ball, the assist from Kevin De Bruyne. Just look at how it came about, for Vardiol to score, which is the corner, how the corner came about, right? That was a near miss. And you just said it, True Lion. Nottingham Forest had so many chances prior to that. Even after that, Chris Woods in front of the goal, he put it out in front of the goal, he misses it, he flicks his leg, the ball goes under it. He flings his leg, the ball goes under it. So there's so much to say about those things, but City play like the big brother in the room. They're the champions. I think there's this air of confidence that they play with. That even if you bring whatever you bring at them, they have a solution for, and that's why I think Pep Guardiola is one of the best and will be the best for a very long time. His 300 league game in charge for City, and it's just like the guy just he has a solution for everything. Nuno Espirito Santos did whatever he could. The changes, the five in the back, the four in the middle, switching it to five in the middle, three in the back, switching it to four in the middle, somewhere in the game, and somehow, City still managed to get the goals they needed to win the game. Erling Haaland is back. Good thing he came back from injury and he scores because there was a fear for him. I think hey, this is City's to lose. I don't see anybody beating City, to be honest. I don't see anybody beating City, and this is theirs to lose, to be honest. I don't see it happening. But yeah.
Okay, thanks for that. Well, Ajab, let's talk a little bit about this Manchester City's team, right? We see a guy like Guardiola. I think he's
Mm-hmm.
scoring his fourth goal in 5 games.
Mm-hmm.
As
Yep.
a left back, he's picked up his play. And when Cities actually needs it, because when I looked at this game, you have Alvarez starting. Alvarez before this, I think for the past 12 games since January, he scored one goal, and that was in your last game, in the previous game
Mm-hmm.
where he scored that goal, right? So for me, when I looked at this game, it was going through, or it was going towards that phase where I say, okay, this could be cagey, but then you see a guy like Haaland come from the bench and scores that goal. What do you make of Manchester City? I'm talking about this season because for me, Manchester City this season is not as powerful as the Manchester City of last season, right? There's still hope for Arsenal, but what do you make about the way they actually close these games moving towards the end of the season?
Yeah, yeah, Man City for last season and this season are two different teams. Especially, yeah, you can't. They let go of Gundogan left, and they brought in Kovacic and Nunes. But they're still not being able to replace Gundogan. Gundogan had a very vital role to play for the team. Besides his experience, he's a baller. He's good even without the ball. That's something people don't know about. Even without the ball, he's good. So getting his replacement has been an issue. If you see, even when Man City is playing now with that pivot role that they used to that last season, Pep Guardiola used John Stones. It was very effective because you had um, uh, Gundogan in the midfield for that role. So they've been having problems with that. But the Man City team, you hear Man City team is so deep that sometimes you even forget when some players are injured, especially the back line. Nathan Ake was injured for a while, and then Virgil came in, and then people forgot Nathan Ake was it's even a starter for Man City. John Stone has been injured for a while. They've been playing without him or playing him, stopping him like, and then you don't even know that there's an issue with that. So the Man City team, yeah, we know it's difficult for a team to play unbeaten in England, but the Man City team is on another level. They're not as good as they were last season, but the depth in the squad is really helping them. And for the last few seasons, if you notice, once you get to March or April, Man City takes control of the league. If you notice, it's been Man City conceded almost every game this season. They were conceding. But for a while now, they haven't conceded. I don't know what happens when it gets to April. They change. I don't know if it's the mindset thing or it's Guardiola who's told them that as of April, you guys don't have to concede. This season, everyone was saying Man City is a team that is conceding a lot. But recently, they don't concede. They don't concede anymore. Even though we'll say the opponents, the strikers are having opportunities and they're not converting, but still they're not conceding. I just look at Man City as they have the way of going about things, and right, it's like Nico said, the league is theirs to lose at this point. It's theirs to lose.
Okay, thank you for that. So let's talk a little bit about these relegation teams. We know Sheffield United is already in relegation. I
They're
saw
gone.
the
They're
game.
gone. Yeah, they're gone. They're
Yeah,
gone.
yeah. I saw their last game. The game. Who did they play? They actually started that game really
Mm,
well.
Yeah,
Then
Newcastle.
against Newcastle, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
they scored first.
They ended up
Yeah, I mean, they started that game really well against Newcastle. Then we saw them vanish. I mean, what do you guys actually make of this relegation battle between these teams? You have also Burnley. Burnley, actually, that I thought was done and dusted. They have a chance for survival because Nottingham Forest keeps, just hanging out, giving
Not
out.
yeah. Forest too. They were deducted some points, right?
Yeah, they were deducted points. Forest lost 4 points.
Okay.
Everton has lost 8 points in total, with
Yeah.
two
Okay.
that are being debated right now
Yeah,
in
but
appeal.
Nuno, what's his name? Nuno Espirito.
Yes,
Yeah, I don't think at some point, in the EPL they always sometimes they rush to kick out their managers. But I think Cooper would have stayed at
if he stayed.
Nottingham
No, I
Forest
think
because
if he stayed, he will be done. I think if he
yeah,
stayed, Nottingham Forest is sure to go down.
no, I don't
So
think so. It's just
I think so.
Nuno hasn't done anything, nothing.
No, but Nottingham has been playing really, really well, bro. Look at
Well,
like if you look at the way they've played, even though they've lost their games, they've played really well.
see, they
Against
consider yeah.
But let me ask you a
yeah,
question, Ajab, right?
Mm-hmm,
yeah,
If they were not deducted 4 points,
mm-hmm,
they would have
yeah.
been at 30.
They
mm-hmm.
would have been above Brentford or with Brentford.
No, yeah, they would have been 5 points below Brentford.
Below
Below
Brentford.
Brentford. Yeah,
And 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 don't you think that that's actually huge?
It
yeah, I
is,
know,
but
but what I'm just saying that from the time Cooper was sacked, for the amount of games Nuno has been in charge, he hasn't really done anything that you can say, oh, this guy came in to do something. But like I see, I don't know. The between Burnley, if Forest has to go down, it's just gonna be between Burnley and Luton because for sure, two of those teams, two of those, it's among the four of them. Let's say the three of them because Sheffield is gone already. Burnley, Luton, and Forest. That's where you're going to get the other two teams. And if you ask me, Burnley and Luton, they should just go back to where they came from. They should just go back to where they came from.
I look at it differently though.
No, you're muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you now.
Nottingham Forest plays Luton
Yes,
in their next
Okay.
game.
no,
I think
Sheffield. Nottingham Forest plays Sheffield
yeah,
United,
play Sheffield United in their next game. I
and
think
then
that could be huge.
they
And
also have
then
a game against Burnley.
and
So there's
then
the two
and then
relegation.
Nottingham Forest also plays Chelsea.
Yeah,
Hmm.
they have a game at Chelsea at home. At home.
Yes.
At their home, yeah. So
And
because they beat yeah.
if they play the way they played today against City, they could beat Chelsea.
Then they
No, no,
play
no. That's what
Burnley
I'm
on the
saying.
last day.
That's what I'm saying. I say Forest. If you ask me, I would say Luton and Burnley should go back to where they came from. That's what I'm
No, but
saying. Not yeah.
the thing is, right? The thing I look at it a little differently. Let's talk about Everton first of all, escaping
No,
relegation, right?
everything is fine. Forget
Yeah,
about everything.
because
They're good. They're
they
good
got
to go.
deducted 8 points and they're
Yeah,
still fine.
yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
Now when we look at the last four, I think there's actually like two of them are playing each other. Sheffield United has to play Nottingham Forest, and Luton also has to play, I think, Sheffield or Burnley, one of those. So Burnley has to play Nottingham Forest, Sheffield has to play Nottingham Forest, Luton has to play Burnley, I think, and Sheffield United also has to play. Is it Luton? No, not Luton. The guys who are already Sheffield United is already gone. So not Sheffield United also has to play Burnley, I think, right? Burnley's last three games are. Let me just quickly look because I want to be sure. Yeah, Burnley's last three games. No, not Burnley. So Sheffield, Burnley's last three games are Newcastle, Spurs, and Nottingham Forest. We can look at it and realistically say Burnley will lose to Newcastle and Tottenham, right?
No,
And
no, you cannot say that.
the
You
last,
cannot say that.
well, we can. I mean, we can just try to guess. But on the last day, they have to fight for with it with Nottingham. I mean, I don't know. These last four teams, any one of them can drop. Nottingham Forest can drop too. If they're not out of it. That's just how I see it. Because it's the relegation teams when they play each other, it's fireworks because they know what it means. you know. So I just think I just get the feeling that anything can happen for them. Anything can happen. And Everton is safe now. So their next game is against Luton. Luton can just come out and run them riot because Everton is going to be stuck in celebration mode. So you never know. You never know. Anything can happen, man.
Yep. So, what you guys make about that Champion League, the Champion League spot? We see Tottenham has just lost to Arsenal. We saw Aston Villa. Aston Villa was actually leading that comfortably. Then it happened to be a draw. Was that a draw 2-2?
Yeah, it was a draw. Um, but
That game was actually I mean, I think that they could not actually finish Chelsea. You
it
know,
was,
they let Chelsea back into the game. They were complacent. That's what I thought. But then we also see Manchester United. They drew with Burnley. Burnley is a team that everybody is actually.
Yeah. Manchester United, they're out of the foot spot race. Yeah.
Yeah.
they don't even
Yeah,
have
with
Europa League.
the tie yesterday, they're out of the foot spot race. So it's between Villa and Tottenham. Villa is
Spurs
7 points, 7 points ahead of
clear. Yeah,
Tottenham, but with two more games played.
games. Yeah,
Yeah. So and
Exactly.
Tottenham still has to play Chelsea and Man City.
Okay, so guys, we do all agree that the champion, the EPL title race is between now two teams, right?
Yeah.
Arsenal and
yeah.
Manchester City.
Yes.
Arsenal
I think
has
so.
what is that? 3 games to go now or 4?
Yeah, three games to go.
Arsenal has three, City has four.
Wow, three
City
games
has
to go
four.
and City has 4.
Yeah.
What do you guys actually think when you look at these games? Who is Arsenal actually playing? Let's just look at it a little bit. Let's just
Arsenal has Bournemouth.
Man
Bournemouth
United,
away,
Yeah, Bournemouth. No, Bournemouth at home. At home.
Bournemouth at home,
Man
Man United
United.
away,
Man United
Mhm,
away, and then
mhm.
closing with Everton at home.
Everton at home, Manchester City.
City has
Tottenham.
City has Tottenham. Yeah.
Is that the next game?
No,
No.
the
Yeah.
next game is
Wolves. They're playing against Wolves at home.
Wolves. They play Wolves, and then they have Wolves, Fulham, and Tottenham on the last day.
So they're going to London for for like a whole week. They'll play
Hmm.
Fulham a week.
Wait, how did they have Tottenham on the last day? Is that not the that was
They're
the
playing
makeup game,
Tottenham
right?
the day before the last day. The day before
Huh?
the last day. They're playing
No,
Tottenham
they are. No, no, no. Sorry, not the last day. The last game is with West Ham. Sorry,
with West
and
Ham.
Man
They're
City.
playing
Yeah,
Tottenham
sorry.
the day before.
Yeah, the last game is with West Ham and at the Etihad.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just one more time. What do you guys think? Who do you guys actually think will win the EPL? Looking at this schedule,
It's Man
who
City.
would
So
you put your money on winning?
Man City. Man City.
I think Man City because they have a way of controlling the game.
Oh
But
my goodness. Oh my goodness. I was actually, this was a bait. I was trying to give Nico a chance to tell me that, to come out with his guts and tell me that Arsenal would win the league the way Arsenal
look,
is playing. But
No,
I see someone, even an
let me
Arsenal
tell you.
fan, he
Let
sits
me tell
there,
you.
let me
doesn't have
just
the
say it
guts.
this way.
Ajab,
No,
this
Let
is
me
let me tell you what's
let
happening now. Let me tell you what's happening now. With Arsenal fans. Arsenal fans are saying City is going to win. So that when City win, they'll say, "I don't tell you no." Then when Arsenal win, if Arsenal win, they'll say, "Oh, we don't win league," So their win is a win-win
No,
situation for
but let
them.
me tell. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Let me just explain why I keep saying City. My head wants to say Arsenal. My head
Hmm.
wants to say Arsenal. My heart wants to say Arsenal. But when you look at it realistically, everything like what's on face value, everything is pointing to City because we know that City is very, very, very dangerous when it comes to this last part of the season. They're really, really good.
Okay,
They
let me
know
ask
how
you a
to
question. Let me
right.
ask you a
Yes,
question. Let me ask you
yes,
a
go for
question.
it.
This game,
Yes.
my preview of this game, Arsenal versus Tottenham, because for me, this was the game that was going to make or break Arsenal. But my
Hmm.
Yeah.
preview of this game, I said Arsenal is going to beat Tottenham 3-1. Now,
Yes.
when I look at the other schedules that is remaining, Manchester United, Bournemouth at home, then
Mhm.
who are they playing
Ev-
again?
Everton,
Everton.
Everton.
Everton. I
Hmm.
look at this game. There's no way Arsenal is going to drop points in those
Yeah,
games.
but the point,
Yeah.
Nico is saying that because he
So
thinks
yeah, yeah,
Man
yeah.
City
But
will not
listen,
drop
listen,
any
listen,
points. So,
listen, listen. He's an Arsenal fan.
mhm.
Yeah.
So this is where he has to come out and make the point and say that he sees Manchester City dropping points against
In
not
London.
even a
I said
Tottenham,
that
but
before. I said
against
that before.
a
But
Fulham or West Ham.
yeah,
Mhm.
Because West Ham are the type of team where West Ham is the type of team where they are very tricky.
yeah. Even
West Ham is
Fulham.
very
Even
tricky.
Fulham. Even Fulham. But the thing is, the truth
No,
is, City
I
has
don't see
a way
Fulham.
of controlling these things. So I would hope that because City has to end the season in London, they have to play Fulham. So City plays against Wolves, then they come and play Fulham and Spurs, and then they go back home and play West Ham. So they have three London teams at the end, and you would hope, yes, you would hope that the London teams will come together and make life difficult for City.
They don't do
But then
that. Why are they
you can
coming together? Why?
you can never count on the London teams because somehow they always come out when it's Arsenal they play really hard and good, and when it's City they just go there and get run over or
Well,
steamrolled. So
Well, I gave you an opportunity to make a case. You could not make the case. Let's move forward. Let's talk about Champions League football, semi-finals. Let's talk about the first one, Bayern versus Real Madrid.
yes,
For
yes,
me, if Bayern actually needs to maybe turn around their season, they have to win or they have to beat Real Madrid in
it's
Munich.
not gonna happen. It's not gonna
You
happen.
say it's not going to happen. Why do you say it's not going to happen?
Uh Bayern, yes, they took care of Arsenal in a very respectably how do you say in a game that was one where there was a lot of nerves for Arsenal, for example, where Arsenal, these guys have not been in the Champions League for a while. They've not been in the Champions, what, 6, 7 seasons. This is the first time someone like Odegaard, you see, he had a tough game that day. Rice had a tough game. So many of these guys have not been in this situation where Bayern just beat them, and Bayern didn't win convincingly. Bayern won 1-0. It wasn't a convincing win against Real Madrid, which is a team that is used to being in the semifinals of the Champions League, used to winning. They have the highest record winning Champions League wins. I don't think a Bayern that's like a Tuchel Bayern, like the Bayern we saw against Arsenal, showing up will be able to cause any trouble to Real Madrid. They'll be taken apart. They will be taken apart. I don't see it happening. The styles, the tactics, everything. I think Ancelotti has the best of the best of the stats in favor of him in this one, and that's why I go with Real Madrid. Yeah,
Okay, well, you're going with Real Madrid. I was just talking about the game. So you think Bayern Munich cannot beat Real Madrid in Munich?
and I don't think it will happen.
Okay,
I
what
don't think.
about you? What are you, Ajab? For me, if Bayern actually needs to go through, they have to beat Real Madrid in Munich. They have players like
Yeah,
Harry Kane. Harry Kane is a goal scorer. They have
Hurricane.
the
He's not Hurricane anymore. They call him now Hurricane. He's a
Ricky.
Hurricane.
Hurricane.
Yeah,
Hurricane Kane.
Hurricane.
Okay,
Yeah,
of
he's,
course,
he's
of
not a
course.
Hurricane
But
anymore. He's
don't you
Hurricane.
think Bayern Munich can beat Real Madrid? Real Madrid for me was not also convincing against
No, what?
Manchester City.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Real Madrid is Real Madrid. I don't see Real Madrid tearing anyone apart. They can win you, they can beat you, but I don't see them tearing anyone apart. It's not. Yeah, it's not that. Bayern. There are sometimes when some teams are going through certain when they're going some difficulties. Don't give them the chance to get to a certain level of a competition because now the only hope Bayern has is this Champions League. So even if Real Madrid, if you ask me, I would go for Real Madrid, but it's gonna be tough. Bayern Madrid is not gonna tear Bayern apart. No,
Yeah,
they're
but let's
not
talk
gonna do
about.
it.
I'm talking about the game tomorrow, right?
The game,
There
the
are
game,
two games.
the game on Tuesday is gonna be a tie
See.
Okay,
in Munich. Yeah, it's gonna be a tie. Yeah,
okay.
that's how I look
What?
at it. Yeah, it's
That's
gonna
the
be a
same
tie.
game?
I mean,
Yeah.
the
No
way I look
way.
at the game, right? The way I look at the game, there are no big like suspensions.
A
No,
Hmm.
tie? No,
no,
there
no big.
is.
I'm sorry.
Carvajal is suspended for that game. Carvajal is suspended for that
Yes,
game.
that's why I
But
said
Bayern has a lot of injuries.
there are no
Bayern
big
has a lot of
suspensions.
injuries.
Like, I'm saying there are
Yeah,
no big suspensions. Only Cabral,
that's true.
that's the only one. He can be
Yeah,
replaced. Injuries are part of the game. We are not talking about. I'm talking about suspensions. Now, this
yeah. But
game is in the hour.
This is why. This is the thing. Bayern will not have Leroy Sané. They will not have Lima, who caused trouble in Arsenal's midfield. Who caused trouble in that midfield for Arsenal,
Is
right?
Sané not listed day to day
No, Leroy Sané is out. He's
out for the
out for.
season?
Yeah, he's injured. He has a groin issue.
Are you
Kingsley
sure he's
Coman
out for
also
the
has a
season?
groin issue.
I think it was listed as day to day. You're saying out for the
Yeah, he
season?
was listed as day today, but it's a groin issue. And if Kingsley Coman is out for the season for a groin issue, and then Jamal Musiala has a tendon injury apparently, so they're saying he'll be out for a few weeks. So those are some of those players are not going to be available, and
Lima,
so it's
Lima, Lima, Lima is suspended. Is he suspended?
no, he's injured. It says he's injured, sprained ankle.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
that's
player. See, yeah, okay, okay. Let me see. Okay, Jamal Musiala day to day.
yeah,
Kingsley out of the season.
the season.
Lima, they say knock unknown.
Yeah, but
Leroy unknown.
uh, they said Sunny is going to return on. Is going to be available as of today.
Exactly.
They
Leroy
said,
So
Sané,
it's unknown.
okay,
yeah,
Anyone I see unknown is like
it's like
big
they're
and
gonna come back.
exactly. You know,
Yeah,
I mean
okay.
those are the big names. Gnabry unknown. You
yeah.
know.
But oh, okay, I was looking at this game without the injuries and suspensions and all that. I'll say if every team has the players healthy, it's going to be a tough game. But if you don't have some of those pacey guys, if you don't have some of those guys like Musiala,
Coman.
but still, it's going to be a good game. Madrid doesn't run out of people. Madrid doesn't tear people apart.
Yeah.
They don't. They could beat you, but they won't tear you apart.
Well,
Not yeah.
the way I see this game is like Madrid has an opportunity to go there and calm their nerves, But if Bayern Munich actually cannot win this game at home, then
Yeah.
it will be a done tie for them, because I don't see them going to Madrid and winning. And even the way they played against Arsenal, when you saw the two goals that Arsenal gave, you know there was some defensive mistake.
Yeah.
Bayern doesn't make this. I mean, Real Madrid does not make that type of
Exactly.
defensive
Exactly.
mistake.
Mhm.
Now, the other game
Hmm.
that's a toss up in the air for me, PSG versus Dortmund. They met each other in the group stages where PSG overcame Dortmund. However, this is a semi-final. Borussia Dortmund have an opportunity since the time of was that Shapitza when they beat Juventus. Since the time of Shapitza, was that Shapitza?
Yeah.
Littmanen?
No, Lidman. It was Stefan Shapiza in '97
Okay,
with
exactly,
last weekend. Yeah.
exactly. They have an opportunity to make it to the finals. Do you think this?
Yeah, but they made it to the finals in 2013 when Bayern beat them.
Oh yeah,
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 with Lewandowski and
that's
Rose and Gundogan
yeah, yeah.
With Jurgen Klopp. Yeah.
With club, yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
So they have another opportunity to make it in the finals. Since a decade ago, as you said, 2013. That would be a little bit over a decade ago, 11 years. Do you think they have what it takes? Because when I watch the PSG has a lot of pace. But they're still a young squad. Borussia Dortmund has some experienced players. Do you think Borussia Dortmund can actually overcome PSG? Let's start with you, Ajab.
Ajab,
Ajab, let's start with you.
I
Did you
think
get
he
my
lost.
question?
He's frozen. He's
Okay,
frozen.
let's go with
He's
you,
frozen. I think we lost.
Nico.
Yeah. I so I've always talked about PSG being a one-man team, right? throughout this tournament. But I think the last round showed or proved that they were actually not a one man team because Dembele came from the trenches and was able to do his thing and take some pressure off of Mbappe. And my thinking is if they go into this game with that same mentality and Dembele shows up and other players actually show up, PSG is going to play a very good game and actually get a chance to win this game. I think the PSG goes through just because the first game is Germany and coming back home, PSG will be able to handle their business. So my choice on this one is PSG beats Dortmund over the two legs. But the game in Germany, I'm not sure how it will go. Possibly a draw, but I know that there will be goals because Dortmund is going to score, PSG is going to score. We'll see how it goes with the defenses, but yeah, that's my thinking.
Okay, thank you for that. Are you back, Ajab?
Yes, I'm back. Sorry.
Okay, so I was talking about the PSG Dortmund game.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
How do you see that actually playing out?
Yeah, it's gonna be a tricky one. Yeah, both teams that maybe at some point were not expected to get to the semis are now playing the semis. And like I mentioned last time, the good thing about Dortmund is that they don't have any player to watch. They have a team to watch. Every player there is a player to watch. You know, when you're watching Real Madrid, you could say Vinicius or Bellingham, you could say Harry Kane, you could talk about Mbappe, Dembele. With the team they have, Dortmund, there's no player there you can say this is a player to watch. So I think that in itself, it's already an extra boost to them that we are just a collection of guys that will go out there. We're not reliant on someone in particular, and it's helped them. They have no superstar. The team they have no superstar that you can really say okay,
One in
and
particular,
yeah.
and it's okay.
So
Okay,
yeah, so what I'm thinking is going to be better. I still, yeah, like Nico said, I think PSG. Okay, if we just talk about the game in Germany, it might be a tie. But if I want to look at both sides, PSG might end up making it to the finals, even though PSG has not been playing good at home recently, especially in the Champions League. They play better when they're out of the maybe the pressure at the Parc de Prince is different. But I think Dortmund will be able. I don't think PSG will beat Dortmund in the Iduna Park. It's going to be a
okay.
tough game there. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. For me, I think this is an opportunity for Mbappe to actually redeem himself as a PSG player before he actually moves on. Somehow, a lot of news say he's going to Real Madrid. But for me, if Mbappe wants to win the Ballon d'Or, this is the time, this is the moment because you have a Borussia Dortmund ahead of you. The previous game, yes, he scored two goals against Barca, but I think Dembele was the one actually that led PSG through that stage. But this is the time for Mbappe to actually make his name. I know he has maybe about eight UEFA Champions League goals now. So if he keeps scoring and knocks out a team like Borussia Dortmund, potentially meet Real Madrid, the team he'll be moving to in the finals, one game final, you know, PSG has an opportunity to actually win this thing when nobody actually expected. So this is the time. So even yes, as Ajab just said, the game in Dortmund, PSG has been playing well away from home, so they can still go carry that momentum with that game they won in Barca, take it to Dortmund and beat Dortmund in Dortmund. So I mean that's the way I look at it. So it's an opportunity for Mbappe to actually make his name or put out a word that PSG is actually out, not only to beat Borussia Dortmund, but to send a message to a team
Um,
like Real Madrid. That's
Yeah,
actually
quick. Sorry, just a quick outside. About the Ballon d'Or. Don't you think maybe the Euro will decide the Ballon d'Or as opposed to Champions League?
true, true.
If,
But
yeah.
the Champions League will also have a say, right? Will also
Hmm.
have a say, and we know France normally makes it good. But if you can make a statement right now, go into the Euro. We know how group stages are and all that. Mbappe has opportunities. He's gonna score goals, and
How about Jude? You're not thinking Jude could also be a front runner for the Ballon d'Or? Bellingham?
yeah, but just look at it. Just look at this way, right? We know Jude Bellingham. He goes to England. In England, he's not really the type of player. So going to the Euros in England, I don't see Jude actually performing the way Mbappe is going to perform. So if Mbappe can take a head start into the Euros, I think he'll be one of the favorite candidates actually running for this because nobody actually respects the French league that much. For now, Jude is linking because of the way he actually smashed records in La Liga. However, Mbappe has more goals now in the Champions League, and if Mbappe can actually win this
And
Champions
he has
League,
more influence, right? He has
yeah,
more influence, so that counts for something.
yeah, I mean, if Mbappe can actually help, carry his team to the Champions League final and potentially win it, he'll have a head start ahead of Vinicius and Bellingham. That's my opinion. And going into the Euro, he's going in a better team. Normally, France, when the players actually play in the Euro Cup in their group, expect Mbappe to score around 4 or 5 goals, 6 goals, maybe in that tournament. Then everybody will be talking about Mbappe, Ballon d'Or. So that's
He's,
how Mbappe can actually make, you know.
he deserves a Ballon d'Or. He's been so good.
Good. He's
I mean, what do you mean by he deserves a Ballon d'Or? He's not even. What do you mean by he deserves what?
No, I mean he deserves. I mean, if he wins it, it's gonna be something that I think
If
it's
he
been
wins it, it's
it's
gonna
been
be how he finishes the season, right? I mean,
No,
how
that's what I'm saying. I say if he wins the Ballon d'Or, it's going to be something of a due because he's proven that
he's
he's a
Ballon
Ballon
d'Or
d'Or
material.
material.
Of
If you
course,
look each top team he's played against, even while at PSG, even though
yeah,
we call PSG Farmers League, each time he goes to Europe and he plays against the Barcelonas, the Real Madrid, which other he scores. He makes sure he scores. He imposes
it's
himself. So yeah, I think he's getting there, which I think it's good. It's good. And then if he goes to Madrid again, it's going to be another story. So let's wait and see what happens.
yeah. So if he actually performs well, if he can carry PSG, it's remaining 3 games, right? If he
Three
can
games.
carry
Yeah.
PSG, because we will not be able to give any excuses if he goes to the final and loses against Real Madrid. PSG has spent a lot more money. PSG should be a solid team as Real Madrid. So right now he has Dortmund ahead of him. If he doesn't beat Dortmund, then for me, I'll be saying that he cannot really carry PSG against a team like Borussia Dortmund that changes players all the time that are not as consistent. You know. So while we
But
actually
look, but if you look, Enrique has come to PSG and is trying something very different about the stardom thing. He's trying to build a new team. You know, if you look at the team, the way PSG is playing now and the choice of players, he's trying to build a new team. It's
yes,
not as that stardom thing that the
but the team is
national
still
side is
solid,
playing.
right? The team still spend a lot of money. They still have some very very good players in their team. It's a solid team. No small team gets to the quarterfinals. I mean the semifinals of the UEFA Champions League by error. I mean they have a solid team. So, anyways, we are towards the end of this session, and maybe we do have some comments. So, Nico, will go through the comments. Let's see what we got.
Zago has been really active on the stream on YouTube. Salah was silly. I think he was talking about Klopp and Salah in that case. Bowen was has been fantastic all season. I agree. And this was
Yeah, but
the rest.
the pack. I don't know. I don't know if I will agree if Salah was serious because we don't yet know what happened between them. You know,
Oh
Salah is not someone who is known as an egoistic kind of guy or always into the. So I don't know. I won't really conclude that Salah is silly.
I
That
think
Salah
he
was
is.
silly in that
I
case.
think he is known for
Okay.
that. Him and Mane had
No,
rango the
that's
time.
No,
just
what do you
because
mean
of
by
a.
Salah is not known for that? We have never heard Salah actually in the press. I do agree
No,
with
he has
Ajab.
not been in the press, but there are things that are happening in the dressing rooms. So one of the reasons Mane is not in Liverpool anymore is because there was a choice between him or Salah, right?
Yeah.
It
So
was a business move by
business
Liverpool.
decision and nothing to do with Salah. They had to keep
Oh,
one
come on.
person.
What do you think is
Nothing
the
to do
issue?
with Salah.
They let
They
go
had to
of
keep
Mane, then they brought in Cody Gakpo that same transfer window. What are
they
you
had
talking
to
about?
keep they had to keep
Yep,
one person because of salary, because of money issues. They had to keep one
yep.
person. That's it. It's
They
yeah.
spend money to pay for Cody
They had
Gakpo when they could
they
have
had to
just
keep
renewed his
they had to
contract
keep
for
one
2 years.
person.
And Nico, that's not Salah doesn't make those decisions.
Thank you. So I want that's it.
There were rumors about dressing room wrangles,
Okay,
guys.
thank
What
you.
are
So but have
rumors?
you ever
You're gonna base your argument on rumors?
Many times these rumors are not lies. You know that.
okay,
Many
Okay,
times
okay.
okay.
it's not
What
lies.
rumors?
Okay,
Okay, what
think
were the
about it.
rumors? What
What
were
were
the
the
Hold on.
rumors?
rumors? What were the
Let me just
rumors?
point. The rumors. There were rumors last week about club losing the dressing room when they
Okay,
lost Everton, right?
okay,
And
okay,
yesterday we saw Salah blow
okay,
up in front of the
okay.
club,
So what were the rumors
in front
between
of
Salah
people.
and Mane?
So
What
it
were the
tells you
rumors?
there's
Hold
always
on,
some
hold on.
legs to rumors. There's always some legs to these
Yes.
rumors. We
What were
just
the
we
rumors?
may not
What
Nico,
were
know
the
the
rumors?
story, but there's
Nico,
some legs.
Nico. Ajab just
Yes.
asked you what were the
What were the
rumors
rumors
between
between Salah
Salah
and
and
Mane?
No,
Salah and Mane.
no. About Salah and Mane, there were issues about them not getting along, and there was a
Yeah,
question of one of them having asked the coach to decide if it's him or the other.
No.
because there was an issue. No, no. I'll actually have to go back and look for those things. I remember sharing and going back and forth with someone on a soccer channel on the soccer forum
Okay, let me say
about
this. Let me say
right.
this, Nico. Let
The
me
thing
say
is,
this, Nico.
sometimes these rumors are so outlandish that you cannot believe them, right? But
Nico,
other
let me say
rumors,
this.
when you see the actions of players back to back, and you can kind of put one and two together and start thinking there's something. Because some of these things don't leave the dressing room if somebody doesn't say it to someone. Like somebody could be leaving the
Nico,
dressing
hold on,
room,
hold on, hold on.
like, hey, this guy just was in this guy's face at practice today, and that's how these
Nico,
things start getting
Nico,
out. Yeah, go ahead.
we cannot base stories on ifs. We
That's
cannot
not
base.
what I'm saying. That's
No,
not what I'm
no, but we cannot. It's not because you don't have your story right, right? Let's talk
saying.
about money. Money was making about 100,000, 120,000 a week.
Okay,
He was underpaid. The
very
structure
much,
of
very much so.
Liverpool pay, when you look at the structure of Liverpool pay, because you are talking about Gakpo coming. Gakpo is a young player, right? He's gonna have his value is gonna increase with time. Even when Mane went to Manchester to Liverpool, we didn't see Mane just start performing at a very very high level when he went to Liverpool. It took him some time to adapt, right? The point I'm trying to make over here is that business decisions were made when it came to money. Money was let go, and he went to Bayern Munich where he was making more money.
Highest paid. He was made the
And he's
highest
paid.
and highest earner at Bayern.
Exactly. And how old was he? Ever since Mane left Liverpool, what has Mane done?
Thank you. It's not so. That's
So
what is
there's
what
a
has
thing
he done?
So
is right.
the decision to let Mane go was a right one.
Yes, was the right
That's okay. It
decision.
was the right business decision, but that's what I'm saying. If you let someone go, you could just renew his contract and give him an extra couple of hundred, a few. It might. Okay, so there's a comment here that Oxlade Chamberlain was getting paid more than money, and these are the things that they could have actually corrected. Like let
That's
Oxlade Chamberlain
But
go,
that's not the
hold on,
problem. You
hold on.
see,
but
let me
then
tell you
this
something.
is the
Let me
funny
tell you
thing,
something.
guys.
Forget about the thing.
Let me
You're
make my
going
point.
far.
Let me make my
Okay,
point.
make your point. Make your point. Make your
Okay,
point.
Mane was making 100K a week, right?
Yes.
That's the number.
Uh-huh.
You let
Okay.
Mane go instead of
Okay.
renewing him for say 2 years,
Okay.
give him a pay bump, and then
Okay.
you go out there and spend 47 million pounds. Was it on Cody Gakpo?
Okay. How old is Cody?
And it wait,
How
wait,
old
wait.
is Cody?
Okay, well he's younger. Understood.
Okay.
He's
How
younger.
old
Then
is
you
he? How old is he?
put money on him, and then you give him 120K a week.
Okay.
Because Cody
Okay.
Gakpo is on 120 or is it 130
Okay.
a week?
Okay.
So mathematically, it does not work when you're looking at it in the terms of okay, they were in a point where they were
Okay.
challenging for the title. You keep
Okay.
that core. It's like right now you could say Arsenal. Do you see Arsenal letting go of Thomas Partey at the end of the season? I don't think that will happen. If they do, then we cannot
But,
challenge for the league
but
next year because there's no way we can have a CDM who can do the work that Partey is
Live.
and
You
provide
are
that
looking.
for
You
Rice.
are looking at 1 or 2 seasons. Liverpool is a team that looks at long term. That's what
No,
they brought in. Yeah,
but
you are looking like at 1 or 2 seasons.
this is
You
the thing.
understand? And the case of Alex Chamberlain and Mane is two different cases. If I sign now, right,
Mhm.
for 120 million, sorry, 120,000 a week. You
Yeah,
come and sign an 8-year contract for 100 a week. If your agent is not working with the team to see how you can get a renewal or a bumped up, it has nothing to do with the team. It's not the team will wake up one day and say, "Money, we've decided that will be." No. If your agent cannot work with the team to see that you've signed a long-term contract for that
exactly,
amount. It's up to
exactly.
your agent. It's not up to Liverpool to wake up one morning and say,
that's
"Money, you're playing good. Let's bump it up." It
that's
doesn't work
why
like that.
I'm saying that it didn't make sense at that point because we knew how deadly Salah, Mane, and say Firmino were in that
How did
No,
they
no. Let me
perform?
also say this. Let me also
How
say
did they
this.
perform the season? How did they perform the season Mane left?
well, let me finish my point.
Exactly,
If you
exactly.
have Salah, Mane, and Firmino in that top
Okay.
three in Liverpool,
Yes.
you bring in
Yes.
Darwin Nunes to replace Firmino. Why did
Okay.
you go and replace the other person? Leave those two at mature players and let
Nico,
Nunes
Nico,
work.
let me ask you this question.
This is the
Nico,
thing. This is the point I'm making, right? Liverpool was at that point challenging City. Liverpool was
no,
literally
they were not.
no, they were literally the only team
No, they were not.
challenging City
They were
because
not.
of how good Salah, Firmino, and Mane were playing.
Firmino was
See,
already finished. What are you talking
That's
about?
yes, that's the thing. How old are those?
and
How
they
old are those
replaced him
three
with
guys?
Nunes. They replaced him with
Nune-
Darwin Nunes. No,
how
so
old were those three guys?
why go ahead and replace Mane when you
How
already
old were those
replaced
three guys? That's what I'm saying. That
a
Liverpool is
strong
looking at. Liverpool is looking at long term. You are looking at 1 or 2 seasons.
no, the thing
Yes.
is, even though they may be looking at long term, that's their thinking. But this Cody Gakpo thing was out of the blue. Nobody expected Cody
Let me
Gakpo to
ask
go
you a
to Liverpool
question. Let me
first
ask you a
season.
question.
Everybody was thinking Cody Gakpo still had maybe a year in Holland before he goes
Nico,
in the Netherlands before he
Nico,
comes to
let
the
me ask
Premier
you a
League.
question.
So it was an unnecessary buy, if you
Nico,
ask
let
me.
me
And I
ask you
think
a
that's
question. What do you mean by necessary buy? To buy one of the hottest players at 22 years for 40
Cody
some
Gakpo was not
40 million?
that hurt. No,
What has Mane did what did Mane do after
that's
Liverpool?
the thing. He went to Germany, had his personal issues, but that's fine. My point is that the time Mane left Liverpool was ill timed. It wasn't.
See,
It could have, they could
and
have
Nico,
figured out this situation a little differently. But let's go ahead
Nico,
and finish the comments. I mean, I don't want us to
they
go.
doubled. He has a double. When Mane left Southampton to Liverpool, Liverpool doubled his salary
Yes,
from 60,000 to 120. So why was that wrong?
nothing
Exactly.
was wrong with that. I just said
Is it because Oxlade Chamberlain was making more money than him?
I wasn't
How much was
talking
how much?
about that. I wasn't
No, but
talking about that.
How much was
You,
Oxlade Chamberlain making at Arsenal before he joined Liverpool? So we should look at things like that, not just focus on money better than this. So he has to, and it depends on your contract, the contract negotiation, the contract.
I've
Yeah,
not argued about that. Like
So
the
let's
agent
let's
has
finish with the comments.
contract. The contracts are determined by the team and the agent. Understood? They come up with their agreements. But when a player is playing so well, you don't destabilize the team by moving them on.
What
From
destabilized? I'm asking where
anyways,
did
that's
Liverpool
okay.
finish?
If you guys don't understand why Liverpool has struggled
Nico,
without Mane,
where did
then
Liverpool finish?
they
you guys
struggled with money. They struggled with money. Why you say without money? They
okay,
struggled
that's
with
fine.
money.
But case
Yeah,
ended. Case over.
yeah.
All
They
right, let's move
struggled
on
with
to the
money.
comments. Let's move on to the comments. Bowen has been fantastic all season. That's a comment from Zago. And the next one was exquisite first touch control from Saka. I think that was in reference to Saka's goal. Yeah,
Yes.
Yep.
yeah. Okay. And then he continues with Partey brings so much stability and balance. Correct. I agree. Zago, Ian Wright. I think he was commenting about Saka and Ian Wright being the only two in recent history to have scored away and at home in the North
For
London
Tottenham.
derby. Yeah, for Arsenal. All right, Burnley and Luton have a chance. I agree.
No chance.
Burnley and Luton have a chance because Nottingham Forest is not doing it. If you ask me, West Ham. I think I'm not sure what that is in reference to. Um, yeah,
No, I think it was when he was asking about you see this last game. I think that's when he said
yeah,
West
Yeah,
Ham.
yeah.
yeah.
Again, yes.
Last game is West Ham. Okay,
Mhm.
come together for a party. I'm not sure what
Because
that's
you because you talked about you hoping that you want the London teams to come together to play against City. That's
just
why he's asking
big
come
life
together for
party.
a party. Yeah.
Yeah, like Fulham should have what's his name, Joao Palinha, send someone home a few times before getting a red, and then Tottenham should take advantage of the fact that Rodri is not in the game or something. So I don't know. I was just Machiavellian thoughts, man. Anyways, there's a comment here from Trust. He says, "Ask that Arsenal fan if he would rather finish second without a trophy or third with a trophy." What trophy? Third with a trophy, I would take it. I think he's a Spurs fan, or is he a Liverpool fan?
Liverpool fan.
Liverpool. Oh yeah, because Liverpool has the Carabao Cup. Really?
Yeah, but yeah, okay, no, but third is not bad. But some
Not bad.
people will tell you football is trophy. But I don't think FA Cup is better than someone losing the Champions League final. But someone will tell you he ended the
No,
season
but
trophyless. So I
sometimes
don't. Some of those trophies don't make sense to me. Not that they don't make sense, but they're not better off than
I,
someone without a title. Because if you finish the league second and you lose the Champions League final, you're better than someone who won the FA Cup and finished fifth or sixth. You
I do
know?
agree with you. I do agree with you.
Yeah.
Finishing second for me is better than someone who won Carabao Club Cup.
Yes, and finish fifth or sixth. Yeah. At
I
least
don't know
if
about
you're third, you're
guys.
going to the Champions League, so you still have a point. Yeah.
Nah,
If you finish third, at least you're still going to the Champions League.
second, yeah, finishing second has its mental thing. pleased with you. You were like, yeah, I finished second and stuff. But when you have a cup in the trophy cabinet, man, you can point to it.
What
Say
cup?
2023, we got a
Ateta
Carabao
has
Cup.
won Community Shield, right?
You're still champions. Yeah, but still, man.
So
I
I mean,
mean, a
what pride?
trophy.
What pride does that Community Shield
Oh,
give
okay, so this
you?
is the thing. This is the thing. After the season Arsenal had last year, at least an FA Cup would have been really good this year. But that's not
So
happening.
so
So
you would
I
have
don't
preferred
know.
Arsenal to focus on the FA Cup because
Yeah, I
Arsenal
would have.
finished
I would have been.
three.
Oh, no, no, no. Let me. I'm answering it. I'm answering the question. I would have been okay with second or third with the FA Cup. I would have been okay with that than to come in second without
than
anything.
than to
Yeah.
chase than to be chasing the title the way you're chasing. So let me ask you this thing: you think Liverpool, because they won a Carabao Cup, has a better season than Arsenal this year?
No, they didn't know. We know. We know
Oh,
for sure
okay,
they didn't.
so if Arsenal goes ahead to lose the title, you say Liverpool had a better season
Yeah.
because they won a Carabao Cup.
At the end of the season, yes, they got.
Oh
They got
my
a trophy.
goodness! Oh my
They got
goodness!
a
I don't
trophy.
know. I
They
don't
got
know
a
what type of
trophy.
football you are
I mean,
watching.
look at it. When you're giving the Premier League honors, what do you say?
No, I don't know what type
Man
of.
City
That's
won
for
the
me.
title.
That's
Right? At the end of the day, Man City won the title. Man
no
City maybe won the
for
FA
me. That's
Cup.
fantasy football. I don't think as an
Yes,
Pardon?
analyst,
that's fantasy. So Nico, you
as
think
an analyst,
anybody
I don't
that
think
wins,
like that.
so anybody that wins a trophy is better than someone who doesn't win a trophy that season?
It's not about anybody that wins a trophy. He talked about. I think Tru3lion talked about. What is it?
Liverpool is okay. So you mean Liverpool in particular?
The Carabao Cup. I don't count the Carabao Cup as a huge trophy, but it's a
No, but you
trophy.
just said it. You just said it that you see Liverpool had a better season.
I think they would have had a better season, just because they were in the title race, even though they've bottled it. But they have a trophy to show for it. We don't have
So,
anything.
so you mean that Liverpool is a better team than Arsenal
This
And that's
season,
not what I'm saying. We
this
beat
season?
them. We
No, but
beat them.
because that's what
this
you mean,
season,
right?
No, no, no. We beat
this
them. We
season. So at the end of the season, Liverpool will be you see
about
Liverpool as a
results,
better team.
guys. It's about results. A combination of the trophy and third place is better than
Yes.
second place without a trophy.
Okay. So at the end of this season, Liverpool, you look at Liverpool as a better team than Arsenal at the end of this season.
If they end the season third with a trophy, yes, and Arsenal
Okay.
ends second without a trophy, yes,
Okay,
Okay.
they would
okay.
have had a
Okay.
better. They would have had a better year
Okay.
because
I'll make sure
trophies.
I hold this to mind. We'll
Yeah,
talk
yeah,
about
yeah.
it
Trophies
another day.
count for something. Trophies count for something. Even last year when Man U won the Carabao Cup, I was pissed because we ended up without a trophy. I
So
won a
last
trophy.
year, Man U had a better team than Arsenal.
They had a no. They didn't have a good season at all because they did because they made it into the Champions League and they had a trophy. So
So they
yes,
had
they
a
did.
better season than
Yes,
Arsenal.
they could
Last
point
year,
to
Manchester
the
United was a
West.
better team than Arsenal.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Because when we end
Ooh.
without a trophy, we suffer because we you have to deal with the fact that you don't have anything to show for it, guys.
Okay.
Man,
That's the
I mean
thing.
that's the way you look at it. That's the way you look at it. But
That's how I look at it,
I don't agree
unfortunately.
with you.
But
No one.
so there's a
I've watched this season.
yes.
No one. Manchester United is in a crisis now. They might even sack their coach. But you are telling me
Mhm.
that Manchester United has been having good season, better seasons than Arsenal.
No, no, last year. I mean last
But that's
year.
what you
Not
just said.
no. Man U is not having a good season this year.
No, I mean even
Yeah.
from last year because if they had a very good season last year, they won't sack their coach this year. It's
No,
all
no, no, no.
accumulated.
So based on my estimation, guys, again, this is my opinion.
But
They
yes, that's
got
what
into,
I said based on your opinion.
they got into the Champions League last year, and they had a Carabao Cup. That's a huge accomplishment. And better than second. Yes, you're in the Champions League, but you don't have any cup, no FA Cup, no Carabao Cup, no Premier League. So chasing the title is good. It's fun. We enjoy it. It's good. But you don't have anything to show at the end of it. There isn't really much you can write home about. We chased the title. We lost to City. That's it. But if
There,
you chase
there,
the title,
there are
yes, we
times
won the
when what year was
Carabao Cup.
that? What year was that? There was time when Watford actually won Carabao, right?
Carabao Cup.
Carabao Cup and all that. So you said that Rashford was
No, they
better
did not get
than.
into the Champions League. They did not get into the
Yeah,
Champions
but
League.
Nico, I think Arsenal was about 10 points better than United last season in the league, right?
Yes. Yes.
But you still think that because United won the Carabao, they were better than Arsenal last season, even though Arsenal
Absolutely.
had 10 points. Okay.
I'm not saying the team was better. I'm saying they
No, no,
had a
no.
better
Oh no,
At
but
the
you
end,
Yeah,
said,
yeah.
they
oh
have
my
better
goodness, you said they
results.
had a better team. Now you're
No,
What's
changing it.
what's the
no.
result?
I'm saying at the end of the day, the end of the season, you look at the results, you're like, okay, we still got in the Champions League just like Arsenal, but we have
Okay,
a trophy more than
okay,
Arsenal to show for it. That's the
okay,
point
okay,
I'm making. Not that
okay.
they had a better season. No way. We cannot say Man U had a better season than Arsenal
Well,
last
okay,
year.
now you changing. After thinking, you're changing.
The
You're
results,
coming back
the
to what?
results I'm referring to,
But the
maybe I didn't
results, your results determine the season, now, Nico.
yeah, but no, 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 no. Come on. You can have results. We just talked about stats and numbers here. You can have
No, no,
results.
no. But results, if you're
The
winning,
season.
results means you're winning your games. It means you're having good
Nico,
results,
here's
right?
my approach, right? I can watch a game like
Yes,
today. Here's my
yes.
approach. I can watch a game
Mhm.
like the game today and say Tottenham played a better game, but they lost.
Yeah, absolutely.
The better team actually lost.
I considered to that point when I was talking about the game.
So football is not only about if a team wins, that team
But
is
at
better.
the end of the day, you have a trophy and you made it into the Champions League. That's a huge
No, no,
accomplishment.
but the trophy
Versus
doesn't.
the team that
Manchester
is
United
second
for the
and
past
made it to the Champions League but didn't get a trophy.
last year, I cannot even come close to say Manchester City was as good a team as Arsenal. I wouldn't even come close.
Manchester United, sorry.
Manchester United, despite
No, no,
that,
no.
I won't
Nobody's
even
saying
come
that.
close.
Nobody's saying that. I'm just saying that they had a good season. I'm
Are you
just
saying
saying
to
that
the
they had
comments?
a good return for the season. That's all I'm saying. But anyways, comments. I think that's it for the comments. Let's look on Facebook. No comments on Facebook there. Let me see. Yeah, there's nothing, guys. I think I'm done here. No
Okay.
comments. No other comments to look at.
Okay. So yes, we've come to the end of this session. It was a pretty good one. I mean, next session when we do have our football trio, we shall be talking yet another game in the EPL because they play not midweek again, right? It's the
They're
weekend.
the catch-up games that are getting played midweek. I think this week, I don't even remember the fixtures, but there's a catch-up game this week. I think
Okay.
it's Spurs Chelsea. I think.
Okay. Okay. Cool. So it doesn't involve actually those chasing titles.
No, no.
Okay, cool. But next week when we meet, we're gonna talk about the EPL. We're gonna talk about Champions League, the first legs, semifinals, and I think that's it. Anything else you wanna say, Nico?
No, no, no.
I
Again,
know
the title chase is still on. It's kind of scary that
you
City
didn't
is
have the
playing.
guts. That you didn't have the guts to say Arsenal is gonna win the, the
No,
title.
everything tells me Arsenal will win it, but I don't want to be too optimistic and then burn myself. Because
Well,
last
it's
year,
nothing. You cannot
when I
affect
was,
the you cannot affect the play on the game. So there's nothing
that's
wrong with you giving your
my opinion, my personal
opinion.
opinion. If I have to go with my heart, I would say Arsenal because I want Arsenal to win for sure. But looking at the fixtures and everything that's left, the way City scheduled their fixtures and putting that Tottenham game towards the end of the season, like before the last game. That's the one thing. If they were playing Spurs, because they looked at it, they definitely must have looked at it and seen that Spurs had a 14-day gap, 14 days of rest. They could have played Spurs last weekend. They could have played,
No,
they could have
no.
played.
But what about Manchester City? Manchester City also needs some time. That's a makeup game. So you
That's true.
cannot actually talk
So
about this makeup game. Makeup games cannot be played the day after. No, on the last day.
or
It cannot be
Yeah,
changed.
that's what I'm saying. I say that the way they scheduled it, that's what makes me think, because uh, and then of course, City still has one game, and this one game thing that City has, and I don't see anybody beating them. I don't see anybody beating them. City has always faltered at Nottingham Forest, but today they played really well, controlled the game and won. So I think the title chase is really gonna be confirmed next weekend when
Okay.
Arsenal goes to Bournemouth. Arsenal plays Bournemouth, and then we figure out what's happening with City. But I think this is not it's already done. It's a done deal. We just mathematically it's still possible, but looking at the fixtures, your head can let you go astray on that one. It's a done deal.
Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you guys once again, and thank you all. We want to talk to Trash. Thank you Zango for actually with that
Being
Zango
on.
for hanging out with
Yeah.
us. And we look forward to next week. You guys have a beautiful rest of the weekend and a beginning of next week.
All right, guys. Thank
Thank
you
you
so
very
much
much.
for being here. Catch you later. Bye.